Slava Ukraini! So in this episode, we are going to cover two different approaches to doing infinite scroll pagination using Hotwire. The first approach is going to be using Turbo Streams, where we have a list of comments, and on the bottom, we will always have a load more button. And when we click load more, we're going to see an additional page of comments added to our list. And we can do it infinitely until, well, as long as we have comments. So you see, new comments are being added. And the second approach is going to be using Turbo Frames. So here we have a list of posts. You see the scroll indicator. And whenever I scroll down, we auto-load an additional page of posts. So you see, these are all new posts with new IDs, and they are just being added automatically to the end of the list. And we don't have any buttons that we need to click. And importantly, we are not using any sketchy JavaScript, no additional stimulus controllers to trigger some turbo streams or whatever. So this approach is going to be exclusively Turbo Frames, and the other approach is going to be exclusively Turbo Streams. So let's start. And we're going to start by having a new Rails app. So here I've created a new Rails app. I'll go to bin dev. And if I navigate to the root, you see it is a new Rails app. And we'll start with the Turbo Streams approach, because I think that it is slightly more simple. So first of all, we're going to scaffold some comments. So I will say Rails generate scaffold comments, and the comment is just going to have a body. For example, body text. Okay, Rails DB migrate. And let's actually save the progress. So git add all, git commit message scaffold comments. Okay, and now let's say Rails DB migrate. Let's go to the server bin dev and have a look at our comments. So going to /comments, and well, Tailwind has compiled, so we have an empty list of comments. Let's seed some comments. So I will say bundle add faker. We will install the faker gem, and now we'll go to B seeds and add some fake comments. I will say 100 times do comment create body will be faker votes, and let's select something. I'll go to faker quotes, and for example, famous last words. So fake a quote, famous last words, and have an end statement. Let's run Rails DB seed. Okay, now I'll go to bin dev. And here we have a big list of 100 comments. Each has a body, and you see here's the scroll indicator. Okay, now let's save our progress, and we will then add pagination. So git add all, git commit main message faker comments. Okay, now we are going to add pagination with the gem pages. So gem page. This is truly an outstanding Ruby on Rails pagination gem. And well, we will go and say bundle add page. This will add page to the gem file and run bundle automatically. And now to make the gem work, we are going to go to app controllers, application controller, and here we are going to add so include page backend, and inside application helper, we're going to include page frontend. Okay, and now we're going to actually paginate our comments inside our index action. So I will say add page, add comments equals page, comment.order, created at descending, and I will say that we want to have, for example, 5 items per page. So items will be 5. Okay, I'll comment this one out. And let's go back to our server and see if the pagination worked. So I refresh, and here you see the scroll bar is smaller, and we actually have only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 items on our page. And if we navigate to another page, for example, we'll say question mark and page equals 2, you see the items on the page have changed. Page equals 3, the items have changed once again. So pagination is kind of working. Let's add a link to have, to go to the next page. So let's say page, link to next page. How can we add it? Not loading. Okay, so we have this require pages extra support in that we can add to the page.rb initializer. So we will go to config, initializers, create an initializer page.rb, add require page extra support, restart the server so that the initializer works. And we will get a link, so page next link. And we can add it on the bottom of our comments. So going to our views, comments index page, and here we will add this page next link. Let's see if it works. So I'll navigate to just the comments. So this is the first page. Here we have a link to more. I press more, and we are on the second page, so page 2. Let's go to page 3. So you see, each time it re-renders this page, it kind of does a full page refresh and just shows the next page. So this is a regular show more button. Okay, we've added basic pagination. Next step is going to make it so that when we click more, we actually don't just refresh the page and go to the top, but we add more posts, more comments between the show more button and the end of the current list. So first of all, let's save our progress. I will say git status, git add all, git commit message, add page. Okay, now let's think. So we want to send a turbo stream request to add the additional comments. So how are we going to do it? Well, first of all, we would need to have a link that would send a post request to a controller, to our comments controller. And if it is a post request, we're going to respond with a turbo stream. So we want our index action to respond not only to get requests, but also to post requests. Now let's have a look. Let's have a look at our routes. So here we have our comments path, and it responds to get requests. Comments index responds to get requests. And we want it to also respond to the turbo stream format. Turbo stream format does not respond to get requests, it responds to post requests, for example. So we're going to make the index respond to post requests. For this, we are going to go to our config, routes, and we're going to say do collection do and post index. Now let's refresh our routes, and here you see our comments index responds to post requests and to get requests. And now going to our comments controller, we can say that we want to respond to both formats. Respond to, in a similar fashion to what we have here, respond to do format, and we will say format.html and format.turbostream. So we are going to respond to two different formats. HTML is going to respond to get requests, and TurboStream is going to respond to post requests. Now let's go back to our comments. And you see, this is regular GET request. It kind of works. And let's see, how can we respond to post requests? We would need this link to send a post request, not a GET request. If we inspect the element, it is just a URL with that is a GET request. And we'll need to rewrite this button because, as far as I understand, the page next link can respond only to GET requests, and we cannot tell it to respond to post requests. So we are going to create a button, and the button will say button to load more, for example, and the URL is going to be page URL 4. So there is such a method, page URL 4 at page and page.next. Okay, let's see if this works. I will refresh, and here we have our more button from page next link and a new custom button that we have just added with page URL 4 page next. Let's see. I will inspect it, and here we have a form. So the button 2 is actually a form with a post method. So it's going to send a post request, and it's going to go to comments with the params page 2. So this one is a GET request, this one is a post request. And let's try clicking the post request. I'll say load more, and well, nothing really happened because there is no format Turbo Stream that we can respond to. So let's tell the application to do something when we respond with Turbo Stream. And for this, we're going to create a new template here. Here we have index that responds to the format HTML, and we will also have an index that responds to format Turbo Stream. So index.turbo stream.erb. Okay, and let's say equals turbo stream dot for example append. So append is add on the bottom. We're going to append on the bottom of the div with the ID comments. So it will be appended in this place on the bottom of comments. We are going to append a partial with comments. So we're going to append, well, we're just going to say render comments once again. On the bottom of comments, we're going to render comments. But the comments are going to be different because we're going to have a request with the next page. So I will say end, and let's see if this works. Now, here we have 5 comments. I click load more, and you see it actually loaded some additional comments. If I click load more again, nothing really happens. Why is that? Because no, stop, it does happen. Something does happen. Let's see once again. I'll refresh. So here's the first. I click load more, all my possessions. I click load more. And well, yeah, nothing really happens. Why is that? Because it again tries to load the same page. You see, the load more URL hasn't changed. So when we loaded the next page, we want to load more to have a new URL, not the page 2, but page 3. You see, each time it is just page 2. So let's render additional not only comments, but also they're going to re-render this button with a new URL. So I'll comment this out. I will add an ID around this button, div ID load more button, and we are going to re-render this button. So I'll go to this index Turbo Stream ERB, and I will say Turbo Stream dot update the load more button div with this button. And let's see if it works. So again, I have 5 posts. I click load more, and each time you see it loads new posts. So it kind of works. That's about it. So what did we do? In our rules, we said that the index action can respond not only to GET requests, but to POST requests. In our index page, we've added a load more button that responds to Turbo Streams. And inside our index Turbo Stream template, we said that on the bottom of our comments, we are going to add the next page of comments, and we are going to re-render the load more button with a new, with a refreshed URL. But let's see. What if we have, let's say, 45 comments per page. Now, remember, we have 100 comments in total. So here I have 45 comments on the page. I click load more. Now I have like 90. I click load more. And okay, let's just to make it a bit more visual, I will also add the ID of the comment. So ID and ID. Okay, so we're looking on the top, comment 100 to 56. So these are 45 comments. I load more, and I have comments up to 11. I click load more, and here I have all the comments, but I still have the load more button. What happens? I click load more, and it reloads the comments in an infinite loop. So if there are no more comments to load, I would like to not have a load more button. This will be the end of the list. So in this index Turbo Stream ERB, I would add an additional condition. We would add this load more button only if there are any additional pages. So I would say if at page.next.present, then we're going to have this button. Now let's refresh. So again, here's our list of comments. I click load more. I click load more. And you see I don't have a load more button anymore because this is the very bottom of the list. So, well, that's it. That's how you can do a load more button with the Turbo Streams. Yeah, and I'm thinking that this was kind of quite long, so I will add the infinite scrolling with the Turbo Frames in a separate episode so that it's a bit more digestible. So thanks for being with me, and well, in this video we learned how to add a load more button with the Turbo Streams. Goodbye.